Well, hello everyone. It has been a while, hasn't it, since I've put out a video of any kind. And firstly, let me say thank you for all those subscribers, which are under 50, that have stuck around. Today I'm going to bring you a video about the game everyone loves to hate. Yes, indeed, it is an age-old World of Warcraft discussion. And a lot of people have played this game on and off over the years, myself included, over almost a decade. And this game, in its original form, was one of the most impactful video games I ever played. The depth and challenge was unmatched at the time to anything I had seen before. And that's saying a lot, you know, when you compare it to the new game. The new game, after a while of logging in and giving it a go here and there and playing random alts and going through random dungeons, it's appalling to me how easy it's become, how simplified it's become, and how absolutely mindless it's become. And this is not necessarily a rant video, but more of an introduction to what we all fell in love with, which is the original World of Warcraft. And that's right, I'm talking about vanilla. Unbeknownst to me, Blizzard has not even considered or accepted the fact of the reality that people have a calling for the vanilla challenge and the vanilla experience, the hand-holding experience that we all fell in love with when we played the game. Sure, there were lots of problems with it, and frankly it was tedious at times, but the original game had a certain bit of nostalgia brought back from all of us who played over the type of gameplay it offered and over the challenges it offered. And you know, that's something that I just don't see in modern games, World of Warcraft included. You know, it got a little silly after Burning Crusade, I've got to admit. Wrath of the Lich King became easier and easier. Of course, there were welfare items given out to all, and to all a good night. It continued on through Cataclysm, where the game got even easier. The discussion really about what was changed in the game, I guess it could go back and forth really, because it was easier for a lot of people to join up, casuals, people who had not experienced the game before, but for the people who fell in love with the game and grew up with the game, it became so mindless and so easy. And so easy for those casual players to catch up to people who had invested a lot of time in gear and grading, of course. You know, I myself am one of the few players, or actually one of the many players, who never experienced Onyxia, any original raid content, Nax, none of that stuff. Because to me, that was for the type of people who, well, they just didn't have a fucking life, to be honest. And for lack of a better term, you know, it was really hard to get into those raids and you know, spend the dedicated time for DK points and all that stuff, DKP, you know, and earn that gear. So I just couldn't. I worked a job, of course, and I had a lot of other things that I was interested in life, so I couldn't just dedicate 12 hours a day to the game, or 8 hours a day, or 6 hours a day to the game. Fair enough. I didn't see the raid content. It was always a very mystique thing, and I gotta tell you, after experiencing Cataclysm and doing the random raid finder and all that stuff, it allowed me to see the raids and stuff, but they had no soul. No one cared. No one was interested in how the process went or explaining it to anyone. It was just a button mash fest for a bunch of healers and a bunch of tanks and a bunch of, you know, rogues and a bunch of mages and basically anybody who could join up in the random dungeon finder. So this brings us to our topic today, the dumbing down of the game, the simplification of the game. You know, I logged in the other day, started a baby priest on an open world PvP server. I believe it was Emerald Dream, which is very popular. And oh my god, I could kill everything in 2 hits. Nothing could hurt me. I never ran out of mana. I did a dungeon the other day on my level 60 priest, or I believe 40 priest, excuse me. And I never lost mana. I mean, I asked them to pull massive groups because I was absolutely bored out of my mind. You know, people were AFK, people were disappearing, people were ninjaing, people were not the kind of people I remember playing with. And I decided, what the hell, I'm going to try a free server. I'm going to try a server that offers me the vanilla WoW experience, and I did. There's 2 realms on a server, private server, that are amazing, and one of them is going to be called the Emerald Dream 1x rate server by feenix, Fenix. This is an original vanilla Blizz-like server. If you haven't played a free server before, now is the time. People have actually got their shit together enough on this server to where it runs really well. It's very stable. There's no weird item malls with creepy gnomes and weird outfits. There's none of that stuff. It's all vanilla, classic WoW. Talent trees, difficult scripted stuff, bosses that will kill you in one hit if you screw up. You know, I went into a dungeon with a bunch of baby tunes the other day, and people didn't pull it right. They pulled the aggro off the tanks, mages were blowing shit up, getting killed, the whole team would wipe. It was a coordination thing that we've lost touch with, and how to control your character and how to control the environment. Now you just run into a group and just smash buttons and everything dies no matter what, even in an instance. You know, back in the old days, the elite symbol, which was a gold dragon that went around the entire portrait of the enemy, meant something. You were terrified. You thought you would die if you were really good and you wanted to test your mettle and you wanted to see how that class played. That's how you would measure up. I still remember going to Tornmill and going up to, I think it was that winter area right up north. It was like, I forget, but there was a bunch of ogres up there, and they were elite, and they were in ruins, and I would go test my characters against them to see how each character fared solo against an elite. You know, that kind of thing is absolutely gone. As a matter of fact, at one point they removed all of the elites from the game world, meaning the elites that were in the game scattered everywhere that you needed group quests for, they actually removed them, and that really broke my heart. I think that was at Wrath of the Lich King, right after BC. And, you know, that kind of thing, just step after step after step with this game, has dumbed it down to the point of absolute retardation. I watch WoW Krendor play every once in a while, Jesse Cox, all those big name guys, and I don't know how they do it. I try to get into it, and it just bores the living shit out of me. So, what is this? This is an intro. This is an intro to what I'm going to be producing in the next weeks to come, which is going to be classic World of Warcraft. Original WoW. There's 2 servers on the Feenix realm. There is a Emerald Dream 1x rate. Everything is stock speed, leveling, item drops, professions. There's a fully functional, wonderful auction house that reminds me of vanilla WoW. You can actually make money there. It's not full of gold farmers and bullshit. You know, number 2 would be the Warsong server, which is a 12x experience, 2x profession rate. You know, these are the 2 servers that are available on Feenix. Give it a go, see what you think. Hope you enjoy what's to come. Ciao!